Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to the 14 Eagles Green Share webinar. My name is Greg Phillips. I'll be your host. We hope everybody had a great, wonderful week. We're so happy you were able to join us tonight. As you know, we have a lot of great things going on with the 14 Eagles platform and our collaboration with Fund Me 24/7 and Feed Me 24/7. So we just want you guys to know we thank you very much for coming to the call, taking time out of your schedule to be here with us. I hope you guys had a really, one of the things that we push with the Fortune Eagles platform is information. That's our true gist of what we're trying to do here. And every week we put out something called the video of the week. And this week the video of the week was very, very important because it dealt with, habits and learning habits and how at such a young age we can be programmed to be a certain way all of our lives unless we decide to take it upon ourselves to change our focus and change the way we see the world. And with that being said, I just want everybody to make sure that they're getting the videos of the week. And the way you do that is you go to Control Tower at 14eaglesden.com, become part of our database because, like I said, the 14 Eagles platform is really, truly built on educating our friends and family to understand what's going on in the world today. And the monetary gifts is basically a byproduct of us waking ourselves up and getting our consciousness back to where we need it to be so that we can truly, truly learn the concept of giving, loving, and sharing and helping each other. And with that being said, Bryant, you have the floor.
All right, great job. Thanks, Greg. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Thursday night call. As always, I want to start off with an update on our 14 Eagles platform. As many of you may know, we've revamped the platform, and we have a new platform that we've been working on, and it's about ready. We brought it up at one point, and then a couple of weeks later we had to take it back down to fix a couple of glitches that was in the system. I got with the developers a couple of days ago, and fortunately they have put everything together the way that hopefully we wanted it. So, but in the meantime, we have to wait for them to test it out. So that's what they're currently doing now, making sure that everything is working properly, testing everything. And then once they finish testing everything, then I have to look at it and make sure it's the way that it needs to be. So we're moving right along with it, and we're hoping to have this thing finalized, hopefully by this weekend, but definitely by next week on Monday. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we can, open it back up by this weekend. But if not, then definitely by Monday or Tuesday of next week. So we can get back in, start the gifting process again, and get everybody moving again. So that's very good news. All right, let's get started here. 14 Eagles. Here at 14 Eagles, as Greg had mentioned, our concept is the most important thing that we do here, with getting people to understand why we have 14 Eagles and what 14 Eagles is all about. Yes, we are a gifting platform, and we help people with monetary gifts to help people with their financial goals. Because, as you know, in this country, our monetary system that we currently are in can be very devastating. We're in a system that is a systematic system that's dealt in debt, and when you're in a system like that, it's very difficult to get ahead financially. All right, and the way that they have the system set up, it's almost like it's designed to keep us from getting ahead financially. And so, with that being said, in 14 Eagles, one of the main things that we try to do here is try to educate people. Educate people in every area of life, financially, fiscally, historically, and spiritually. Okay? And so with that, we know that if we can help educate people and teach people and get people to basically educate themselves and help educate each other. Not saying that we all know everything, because nobody knows everything. But if we teach each other, okay, and work with one another, then all of us will be able to prosper and change our mentality and consciousness to be able to strive and have a better life than what we currently have now. It's not good where some people are living good and others are not. That's not a good thing. I mean, I don't feel good when if I'm doing well and then my neighbor across the street is hurting. That's not a good thing, because if they're hurting, then I'm hurting, right? And that's the kind of mentality that we all should have, because if we did have that type of mentality, nobody would be homeless, nobody would be out in the street begging for pennies or any of that stuff, all right? Because what you see in others is what you see in yourself, okay? And so that's what we have to strive to do, to bring people up, to help people as much as we possibly can, because it's a universal principle. The more we give, the more we receive. And so that's the aspect of what we try to put out here in 14 Eagles. Now, before I get into the actual concept of 14 Eagles, the first thing that I want to do is convey to you what 14 Eagles is not, okay? Because the reason why I say that is because anytime that you're dealing in a program where you have to bring people in too, and it's more of the case of bringing people in to a program to where they say recruiting. You have to recruit. Or do I got to talk to people? All right. A lot of people don't like that. And so the first thing that comes to their mind, oh, you're talking about one of those pyramid things. All right? And if you've ever done multi-level marketing or network marketing, you hear that all the time. And so what we want to do is we want to dispel the myth right away, right off the bat. Okay, what a pyramid scheme really is. Because when most people say, oh, you got one of those pyramid things, most of the time they don't even know what a pyramid is. Okay, most of the time all they're doing is looking at a structure of a pyramid and associating it with some type of business where people bringing people in or recruiting people, so to speak. So I just want to break down what a pyramid scheme really is, just so people will know right off the bat. Now here I have on the screen, it says a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is a fraudulent system of making money based on recruiting an ever-increasing number of investors. And I have investors in red. The initial potential promoters recruit investors, who in turn recruit more investors, and so on. The scheme is called a pyramid because at each level, the number of investors increase. Now that's just the basic definition of a pyramid. You can go and look up on Google pyramid as well, and it'll give you more detailed description of pyramid schemes, but this is just the basic level of it. And the key word in this definition is investors. Okay, because anytime that you have a structure where you bring people in and they're investing their money, and then see, and anytime you invest money, you're expecting some type of return on your money, which is a rate of return, ROI, a rate of return. And so anytime that you're getting investors to invest in something, they're looking for a return on their money, okay? And so with the pyramid scheme, when people invest in a pyramid scheme, what the structure is doing is taking the monies that the first people brought in, okay, well, I should say taking monies that the last person brought in and breaking that down and giving it to the people, to the investors who first got in, and just recycling money that way, so people can get some type of rate of return on their money with the last investors that came in. All right, that is a pyramid scheme. All right, And that's the definition of a pyramid scheme. And then see, in most cases, even with MLM companies, it doesn't work that way. Okay? But especially in 14 Eagles, it does not work that way. We're nowhere near a pyramid scheme. So whenever someone says, "Oh, you're in one of those pyramid things," you tell them, "No, this is not a pyramid." And then you break down for them what a pyramid scheme is, because this is far from a pyramid scheme. So we always want to, address that right off the bat, because that a lot of times that's what discourages people from getting involved with something that could literally change their life. And we don't want people to be misled in that way, because, and understand, people thinking in that way, that is not a mistake. That is not a happenstance. Okay, that is by design. Because first of all, the people, the peoples that are in charge, let's say, the powers that be, that's the word I'm looking for. All right, they don't want something like what we have: people helping people, people working together. That is not their agenda, because if it was, we would already be doing that. All right, we wouldn't have to come up with a platform like 14 Eagles of Fund Me 24/7. See, you have to understand who and what we're dealing with here. And so they don't want this type of thing getting out to people. So they put in this confusion about a pyramid scheme. And they'll attach this pyramid scheme on any program that's due to get people to work together and to build together. And unfortunately, the MLM industry got hit hard with this. Got hit very hard with it. But even though the MLM industry got hit hard with it, the MLM industry still grew to a huge industry. It still grew, because people know that that type of concept, people really do and really can get ahead with that kind of concept. All right? So we just wanted to point that out to you, because we don't want that to be a hindrance to you here in this community and what we're dealing with here. All right? So I hope you understand that. Now, also I want to let you know that 14 Eagles is not an MLM either. Okay, so we're not dealing in that realm either, even though some people can mistake us for being an MLM. They can mistake even Fund Me 24/7 as being an MLM. All right, but it's not. And if you really studied the presentation videos, which I encourage you to do by going to our website, our community website, which is www.14eaglesden.com. And if you go to our website, you'll see our formal presentation right here for 14 Eagles. If you click on that, you'll see the formal presentation of how the 14 Eagles platform works. And you'll see that it's not a pyramid scheme. There's no investments and there's no overrides, because we're not a multi-level marketing company. Okay? Also, with Fund Me 24/7, you can see a formal presentation there. And you can see how that platform works. And you'll see that there's no overrides. So it's no multi-level marketing there. It's not even direct sales. And then you can look at Feed Me 24/7, and you'll see that it's not an MLM or direct sales. Okay? So we want to get you going in the right direction mentally about what the platforms are, because we want you to be able to look at it objectively and not have a preconceived notion about what it is and what it entails. So one of the best ways to really go over the concept of what we do is right here on our website, www.14eaglesden.com, is the welcome that we have right here on the website. If you go to the website and you read the welcome, it will give you a great synopsis of what 14 Eagles is all about. And so real briefly, I just want to go over this, just read over it real quick for you. 14 Eagles is a platform that provides like-minded people from all walks of life the opportunity to help one another. 14 Eagles is not a business, it's not a corporation, it's not a network marketing organization. Rather, it's a private, invitation-only, global community of people who believe in the principle that by helping others, in that process, we help ourselves. That's the premise of 14 Eagles. As we give, so shall we receive. 14 Eagles commonly uses a unique online gifting platform that allows members to come together for mutual interest, commitment, and prosperity. 14 Eagles has taken a concept that is actually thousands of years old, giving, sharing, and accepting, and merged it with modern-day technology to create a virtual community, a community that has developed its own economy of peer-to-peer giving and sharing, which provides economic stability to become self-sufficient and self-sustaining. The 14 Eagles community is a bridge used to move people from a debt-based system formed on selling, buying, and taking to a collaborative-based system formed on giving, sharing, and accepting. This virtual community creates a paradigm shift in consciousness that inspires people to work together and garners love and harmony on a whole new spiritual level. There is a universal law, God's law. Whatever you give out into the universe, you will get back in abundance. If you are someone that has a heart for giving and genuinely like helping people, then get with the individual who referred you to the 14 Eagles community and let them know you want to be a part of this growing movement to change the world into the place it was meant to be. To register for the 14 Eagles community is free, but to send and receive gifts through the platform, you will need to get a Cash App and OG Pay accounts. Get with the member that invited you to walk through that process. Now that welcome on the website, that gives you a great perspective about what 14 Eagles is all about. And yes, we do, put a great emphasis on the gifts that we receive, the monetary gifts that we give and receive, because that's going to really help people out a lot. Because we know that, most of our decisions on a day-to-day basis is a money decision. Okay, and that's one of the well-known scarcities that we have in the current system that we're in. Nobody has enough money to do what they need to do, much less do what they want to do. All right, so the monetary gifts that we send through our platform is definitely needed. Okay, but it's one thing to receive gifts, but it's another thing to receive gifts in this monetary way and not know what to do with it. And so that's what we really pride ourselves on, is helping nation to be able to know what to do with the money that they have, that they get. All right? And know how to channel that money. Because, see, understand, money is just a tool. It's just a tool. Money doesn't have a conscience. Money doesn't have a mind of its own. So if we get the money that we need to be able to affect change in our neighborhoods, in our families, in our state, in our country, and in the world, then we can really make a difference. And so we feel like the platform that we have here at 14 Eagles, it puts the power back in the hands of the people. All right? And seeing we can do that for ourselves. We don't need a government to do that for us. And so that's what we really strive people to really take heed to when we're giving out information. Now, mind you, like I said earlier, we don't know everything. So we need you too to give out information, to share information. Because, see, one of our mottos here at 14 Eagles is to give from the heart, to share the love, and accept our blessings. Giving, sharing, and accepting. That's what it's all about. And if we do that as a community, we can't go wrong. We just can't go wrong. And so it's a powerful thing. So what we're actually doing here in 14 Eagles to be able to affect a change is we're building a virtual community. All right? We're building a community online, a virtual community. And so by building a virtual community, we can take whatever gains that we make in our virtual community and take that to the real world and really have a great effect in a positive way in the real world, in the real physical world. Okay, so the virtual community that we build here can affect the real world in a positive way. And that's what we're striving to do. Okay, now it's hard to have a community without having businesses. And so here at 14 Eagles, we're doing something that most people don't do or most businesses don't do. And that's bring in other businesses. Okay, anytime you have a community, you got to have a business. Because when you're in a community, you have to have businesses that have the certain needs and wants that you want in your community. Can you imagine living in your neighborhood and there was no stores in your neighborhood? And let's say you had to go to the next county or the next state just to go and get what you need. All right. Well, that's the same premise here. In our virtual community, we encourage businesses to get involved with our virtual community. And by doing that, people will be able to get the things that they need and get the things that they want right here in our community. And so we want businesses to come and advertise on our site. You know, one of the biggest expenses that a small business has, a grassroots business has, is advertising. That's a big expense. That's a big expense for any business out here. Any business. I mean, look at it. You know, the Super Bowl, they charge millions of dollars for just 30 seconds. Not even that many. Probably about 15 seconds. Okay, of an ad. So, you know, the advertising business is huge because it costs so much to put your product in front of people. Well, what we're doing here at our community, here, our virtual community, is allowing people to be able to advertise their business on our site, and on a site where we have a growing community. And so as our community grows, your exposure to that community grows. Okay? Now, but we've done a very unique thing. We don't want people with businesses to pay us to advertise. What? You don't want any money to advertise? No, we don't. Okay? That's how we're unique. Because, see, we want you to advertise, and we want people to take part in whatever you have to offer. The only thing that we ask that you do is help build the community. And if you help build the community, all that can do is help you as a business owner, as a business person. So I hope that makes sense to you. So what I want to do real quick, let me see if he's here. One of the guys that's really been very influential in getting this business part going for the 14 Eagles community is Dwayne Perkison. He's really been doing some fantastic things to try to get the small businesses involved in our community. And so I want to bring him forward real quick just to give a quick synopsis about how the businesses can benefit from being a part of 14 Eagles. Dwayne, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear. Yeah, if you will, just go over real briefly how the businesses can really benefit by being a part of the 14 Eagles community real quick.
All right. Well, first of all, greetings to everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to share this segment of our information for tonight. In regard to the businesses, I give you 3 words, and I think you may find them somewhat similar, but it's exposure, exposure, exposure. Most home-based businesses, grassroots businesses, especially home-based, suffer because they lack exposure, because people, for whatever reason, a lot of times it's just lack of training, just really having a thorough understanding about, or overstanding for that matter, of what's involved in being successful with their business. And a lot of times they just lack exposure. One of the things that we stress is that we want to get information out to the public, whether it's a local, regional, or nationwide, and eventually being global. It just depends on your type of business that you have. But the bottom line is we're providing a platform where businesses, small grassroots businesses, mom and pop type shops, work out of your basement, work out of your living room, or that particular segment of your house where you actually may be writing that off on your taxes as your office space, or inside your garage because you might change tires or do some mechanical work, or you might do lawn cutting, or you're a network marketer, multi-level marketer. It's totally up. It's whatever type of genre you have: consultant, financial specialist, photographer. You put any of those particular categories there. Anyone that has a business, and they're going to have one time out of pocket $16 to become part of the community. Okay, which becomes a member. Membership has its privileges, has its benefits. Okay, so as a member, now you get to advertise. And right now we're running a special where you can actually advertise your business. You invite your business, your friends, your whoever has them, that come on board, take the one time out of pocket, $16. They're now part of the community. Now they formulate, get their ad together that they want to place inside of our rotator, and they get to participate in that advertising campaign for a period of 60 days while the promotion lasts. Now, we haven't really started the promotion, so right now those who actually get their information in now will get an opportunity to get extra time on. And then we'll discuss with ways of extending that time frame where you can actually have it on for an additional month, for the additional or the rest of that year and years to come. But the bottom line is we just want to share. This is not about being selfish. This is a community. We all come together. Everybody pulls their fair share, if not more. And, of course, the more you put into it, the more beneficial it can become not only to you but also to those that you invite, because now they get a chance to participate in that exposure. One time, $16 out of pocket. Do we need to say more about that? I mean, this is an opportunity to, again, get exposure, and everybody can benefit from that, whether you're a local business where everything takes place within your realm of your city, or it's nationwide. So we extend to you if you have a business, or I'm sure you know of people who have a business, and yes, you do. You do know someone that has some type of business, whether you thought of them as a business individual or not. But we have a great platform here, and we definitely invite everybody to come on board.
All right, great job, great job. And I mean, to me, it's a win-win-win for a business. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's a win-win-win because for the simple fact is becoming a part of the community and advertising your business to the community, you'll be able to receive contributions and gifts while you're advertising your goods and services.
You may find yourself even getting more contributions than you're going to get in your actual business itself if you understand that correctly.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-lose situation.
Can't lose. You just can't lose.
Exactly.
You just can't lose. And then you also have a direct effect of the community that's going to potentially buy from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're helping the community to grow. And as you help the community to grow, and those people that you bring to the table are helping the community to grow. Now you have more of a chance for people to be able to look at your ad and get from you what you're advertising.
Exposure, exposure, exposure.
Yeah, so you have direct involvement in that. So that's a powerful thing. Powerful thing.
Yep.
Thanks, Dwayne. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So understand what we have our hands on here, people. This thing, we are trying to change the way people look at gifting platforms. Okay. You know, in the past, what happened to my screen here? See, this computer's been acting up lately. But in the past, you know, gifting platforms have gotten a real bad rap. And so we're trying to change that now. We're trying to make sure that people understand that this is a legal entity, a legal process. This is something that you don't have to be afraid of. This is not multi-level marketing. Right? You're not making money here. This is not a business. Okay? This is just a platform for like-minded people to come together and to be able to help one another financially. See, when you give a gift, you're giving it from your heart. You're not looking for anything in return. That's what we're about. It's just like, you know, you see somebody that needs some help on the street and you give them $1. You're not asking them to pay you back next week or tomorrow. You're giving it because that's what you wanted to do. And see, and if you do that, then it's going to reciprocate back to you in whatever form that it does. And so we've just so happened to build a platform here to where you can freely give to someone else, either someone that you know or somebody that you don't know. And because you did that, now that puts you in a position for someone to give to you, someone that you know or even someone that you don't know. And so, and that's the concept. And we don't have to make it any more difficult or confusing than that. That's just how simple it is. And so that's why we try to spend more time talking about the concept than talking about the actual monies that you receive by sending gifts. Because if you really understand the concept of what we're doing here, then the money part will automatically follow. You know, it's just a natural progression. And so I hope everybody understands that and really can get the gist of what we're doing here at 14 Eagles, because we want you to try to convey that to the people that you know, to your friends and family as well. We don't want you to have to sit down and try to explain how the platform works. They can look at the videos and see how the platform works. And if they have any questions about how the platform works, then they can come to us and ask us. All right? So it's no big deal. But if they understand why we're doing what we do, then the platform doesn't make any difference. Because if this is what I want to do, then I'm going to learn the platform, and I'm going to be a part of it. So I hope everybody understands that. Now, you heard me mention about, for those of you that may be new, you heard me mention Fund Me 24/7. Well, we have partnered with Fund Me 24/7. Fund Me 24/7 is a program that got started back in December of last year. And they've really taken the crowdfunding industry by storm. Okay? And it has really put a new face on crowdfunding, so to speak. You know, there's a lot of crowdfunding platforms out there today. Because of Barack Obama signed into law back in 2012, where the Jobs Act, giving people an opportunity to be able to raise money for whatever type of business, or people had certain types of products that they invented, and different inventions and things for people to try to raise money to mass produce their product or their invention. And they came up with the Jobs Act. And in the Jobs Act, it talks about how to raise funds, how you can have the ability to raise funds through crowdfunding. Well, Fund Me 24/7 has taken the crowdfunding to a whole nother level. And so we've decided to partner with them because their tenor of their program and the concept of their program fits perfectly with 14 Eagles and our gifting platform. So we said, well, why don't we just merge together, and then that way that expands our ability to receive gifts and contributions through our crowd. And so that's what we did. And so we've put together a process in which we can do that and be able to work together. See, it shouldn't have to be any competition when it comes down to people helping each other. We shouldn't have to compete to do that. We should all work together in every way that we possibly can because it's for the benefit of the people. And so that's what we're trying to do, and we want to be the model of that, of working together. And so as we've come together with Fund Me 24/7, where they have a platform to where you can create your own project. You can start your own project. That project could be anything, personal or business, where you can start your own project. Let's say your kids are small now, but you want them to go to college later on, so you can start a college fund for them. Well, guess what? That can be a project. Maybe you went to college yourself and racked up a lot of college debt, which a lot of people are doing. All right, and you want to pay off your student loans. Well, that can be a project for you. Maybe your roof is leaking and you need to get a new roof here soon. So that can be a project. Or maybe you're just trying to add on to your home to bring up the value of your home. That can be a project too. Or maybe you're trying to buy a home, all right, and you need the money for a down payment. That's a project. No matter what it is financially. Maybe you're trying to start a new business and you need, some money to start your new business. That's a project as well. Or maybe you already have a business and you just need more operating expense for your business to make your business grow. Well, guess what? That's a project too. No matter what it is, if you need to raise funds for it, you can do it on Fund Me 24/7. And as long as you have a project based on the law, you can raise funds for that project. And so that's how Fund Me 24/7 is set up, where you can start building your own crowd and raising the funds that you need for whatever project that you may have. And by law, you can raise up to $1 million per year on any one project. So if you happen to raise $1 million for your project, then guess what? You can start a brand new project and raise funds for that. And so what we're trying to help you do is to build a crowd, build your own crowd so you can be funded for your project. And so one of the other things that comes along with Fund Me 24/7 is Feed Me 24/7, which is strictly designed to help you to build your crowd. It's a feeder system to help you build your Fund Me 24/7 crowd. And in doing that, you can generate the monies to start the crowdfunding process. All right, so it's a powerful thing, powerful thing. And now that we've joined together with 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7, we have literally set up 4 different platforms, strategic platforms, for you to be able to raise funds for whatever you need to raise funds for. And you can literally, and I'm saying this literally, take $16 out of pocket one time and be a part of 4 different platform systems to raise funds and build a crowd. And that one crowd will help you to receive gifts and contributions through 4 different platforms. That is unheard of. There's nobody out there doing it, and there's nobody doing it the way that it's being done here with 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7. So that's why I say I really suggest that you really come to the 14 Eagles website, which is www.14eaglesden.com. Go and check out our website. I really encourage you to scroll down and watch these 3 videos here, because it's really going to give you a perspective of what both of these programs are here for. We want you to go and look at the video, Are You a Connector? Then watch the video, One Small Town, and then watch the video, Your Body is an Illusion. And it will give you a great perspective, put a great perspective on what 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7 is really here for. And then once you do that, then go and check out the presentation for 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7 and Feed Me 24/7. Okay, it will astound you. It will astound you. Now, before we get going, before we get out of here, what I want to do is I just want to point out to you real quick that the monetary system that we find ourselves in is really in trouble. And it's been in trouble for a while, but now it's coming to a head. And you can see the frenzy on the political scene that's going on to let you know that something is not right. Something is about to burst. All right? And our monetary system in this country, and not just in this country, but around the world, is on its last leg. Okay? And when this monetary system falls, we are going to be the fallout from it. We're going to be the casualties of that financial disaster that's about to happen. Now, you don't have to believe me. Matter of fact, I don't want you to believe me. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. Okay? Go and check it out for yourself. Because if you do some research, you'll find that the majority of the financial experts and analysts are letting people know, are letting you know that this house of cards that we have in this country is about to fall. The banking system is about to fall. It can't keep going the way that it is. And that's why we put out the type of information that we put out through our videos of the week. So if you're not receiving our videos of the week, then what we suggest that you do is come down here and be a part of our newsletter. You know, put your name and your email address. If you're not receiving anything from 14 Eagles, you want to do that, whether you get involved or not, just so you can stay abreast of the information that's being put out. And then get that information and go and research it for yourself. Don't believe anything that we send out. We encourage you to go and research for yourself, because that's how you're going to learn what's going on around you. You know, it's so often that we do go about our everyday lives, and because we're so bogged down of trying to make a living in a monetary system that's designed to keep us down, that we don't take time to stick our heads up to see what's really going on. And so what I wanted to point out real quick is I have an article here. It's an actual website, really, that points out about our national debt. And very quickly, I just want to just read this paragraph here. It says, why we advocate for fiscal responsibility. Americans say they put a high priority on strengthening the country and looking out for the next generation. Yet the federal government is on an irresponsible and unsustainable fiscal path, with spending programs growing more quickly than the economy can keep up with, and tax revenues projected to chronically fall short of spending. Even in relatively good economic times, this leads to an ever-growing debt burden. And if you look here in this article, it talks about the United States debt. The U.S. national debt is at, see this number here, $22 trillion. $22 trillion. Now, I don't know if you know what $22 trillion really looks like or not. I don't know if you really know what that means. But $22 trillion is a lot of money. And like I was saying earlier, our monetary system is based on debt. But let's bring it into perspective real quick. Here is the debt clock. Let's bring up the national debt clock. And I encourage you to go and go to Google and put in debt clock, and you can bring this up, and you can check it out for yourself. This is the debt that's running in real time. It's a debt clock. And if you look over here, you'll see the U.S. national debt is over $23 trillion. Now, in the article, when that article was written on that site, it said 22.9. Well, now it's at 23 trillion. And you come back a month from now or 2 months from now, and it'll be higher than that, right? Because look at these numbers moving. It never stops. We are constantly in debt. Well, what does that mean to each one of us? That means because you are a taxpayer, that means that this debt is waiting for us to pay it off. That debt is waiting for us. And seeing most people don't even know how that debt comes about. They don't understand that our government borrows from the Federal Reserve, which the Federal Reserve is not a federal agency. It's a private bank. And they borrow money from the Federal Reserve for their budget. And then our politicians take that money and spend it however they want in the guise of spending it for the people. And so when they spend the money, do we benefit from it in any kind of way? It doesn't really look like it, does it? If you look around, and all of a sudden we end up at $23 trillion in debt. Well, watch this. For every person, and I don't know if you can see this or not. I hope this you can see this. If I hover over this national debt, it says the national public debt outstanding represents the face amount or principal amount of marketable and non-marketable securities currently outstanding. That's our debt. But then when I go over here to where it says debt per citizen, the debt per citizen equals the U.S. national debt divided by the number of U.S. citizens. And when you divide that national debt by the citizens in this country, that's $69,760 per person. That's what the debt represents. So that means everybody's in debt. You're in debt by $69,000. That debt belongs to you. Okay? And then if you're a taxpayer, watch this. Debt per taxpayer. The debt per taxpayer equals the U.S. national debt divided by the number of U.S. taxpayers. So if you're a taxpayer, your debt goes up. See, you got to understand what's happening here. And the only way to get out of this situation right here is to do something different. Because if we continue on in this monetary system that we're currently in, and we continue to do the same thing we've been doing, guess what? Your debt is just going to get higher and higher and higher. So this is why we formed a platform like 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7. Because debt is the culprit. They know it, but the problem is we don't know it. And so we got to fight to get out of that system. And so what we're doing here in 14 Eagles is creating our own system, our own economy through our virtual community. And we're helping each other in our community. And we even bringing the businesses in so they can be helped because they can't get ahead in this system either. You follow me? So I just wanted you to take a look at that, and we'll revisit this on other dates too, because we really want to go over this. Because when you see the numbers, numbers don't lie. It gives you the real gist of what's really going on. So we want you to realize that. So with that being said, make sure that you go to our community website. If you have any questions that you want to send to us about our platform, about the Fund Me 24/7 platform, you can send us a message right here with Connect with Us. Send us an email message through here, or you can get in contact us with our email address, which is controltower@14eaglesden.com, and that's right here. Let me show you that right here. So really get familiar with this website, and you can go here and you can send us an email as well. Okay. So without trying to hold you up too much longer, what I want to do is close out. I want to bring on my partner, Greg, if he's here. Let me see. Yes, Greg. I'm gonna open you up, Greg. And I want to give Greg an opportunity to say whatever he needs to say in reference to 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7. Go ahead, Greg. Are you there? Oh, that's the wrong Greg.
Okay, yeah, I am. I'm free now. Can you hear me?
Okay, there you go. There you go. Go ahead, Greg.
All I really want to say is this, Brian. I really appreciate what information you gave us today. Dwayne, keep pushing these businesses because that's what's going to help us out. That's what this is all about. It's about getting our community to work together. And really, Brian, on this call here, I'm really stumped for words because you hit everything on the head right now with that nail with one good swing. And all we ask everybody to do is bring one person with them next week. Hear what we have to say. Make sure you become part of our email database so you can get the videos of the week. We also record these calls so that you can send out this information to your friends and family. I mean, if this doesn't move you right here, you better check your pulse because, family, we are in the right place at the right time. And as I like to say in closing, we're just ordinary people about to come together and do some extraordinary things. That being said, thank you, family, for taking our time out of your busy schedule to come join us. Again, come back next week, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here. We hope to see you. Thank you. Good night.
All right. And